Y'all caught me trying to tame the mane. Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. I'm so excited to see you guys. I'm so grateful that you guys are here. Woo! Yes. I just had to take a breath. I hope everybody is well. This one strand of like hair is rogue, like how I feel like my life is these days, just rogue. Like nothing is going the way I'm planning it. Nothing is going the way I'm expecting it. It's just like my life is like my hair right now. Just it does what it wants to do. How are you guys? How is your heart? I hope everyone is well. So we have our Monday afternoon live. So just a little bit of housekeeping here for anybody who's new. One question per person. If there's more than one question, I will not go on past one question. They need to be super laser focused, okay? If they're too open-ended, like, what's my life purpose? When am I going to be in my career? Or what career should I have? Or when am I going to find my partner? I just don't have enough time during a live to answer those questions. So if that's the case, and that's really what you're itching to know, you're probably going to want to set up a private one-on-one session, or you might just want to join my Patreon community, because we do a lot of engagement and connection there, where I will have a lot more time and you will have a lot more access to me personally. So that's, of course, my Patreon community. You just go to patreon.com/Terrie Huberman. The link is down below in the description center. Don't forget that if you like these weekly Monday afternoon lives, please show me some love and click that button, that thumbs up button. It'll also tell YouTube that you like it, and it'll share this opportunity with other folks as well. So that's how you guys can help me out and help me build my channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. I think that's pretty much it. Just know if I don't get to your question this week, Spirit has this brilliant, brilliant way of piggybacking on other questions. So you might have a question that is similar to someone else. So just make sure you perk your ears open, because even though I might be answering someone else's question, all the information may resonate with you. If it does, you can take that information. Anything that does not resonate with you, toss it aside. You should be doing that in life anyway. Something doesn't feel good to you, doesn't feel right in your body, do not do it. It is that simple. Also remember, if you're asking a question and the answer is not a hell yes, it's a hell no. Even if it's an I don't know or a should I, shouldn't I, it's a no. It has to be a hell yes, okay? All right, so let's get to the feed here. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Come on, tech. Here we go. LP. Hi, LP. I think of myself in middle school. Happy, outgoing, fun. I miss that person and find it so hard to be that way naturally these days. I don't blame you. It is really hard out there. It's tough these days, especially if you're picking up on other people's energy and the energy of the collective. What are some ways to connect with the authentic self and inner child? What a great question, LP. The first answer I'm going to give you guys is actually going to be super hard. So it's a challenge to do, but that is to not believe everything you see, not listen to everything you hear, because those things that we are seeing with our eyeballs, those things that we're hearing with our ears, we taste, smell, whatever, those are the physical senses of reality. When we want to achieve certain things, like for example, LP wants to be happy, outgoing, and fun. If we're only looking at what is, and it's not happy, outgoing, and fun, you're not going to be able to take yourself to that place, right? Because you're deeming how you're feeling by what is. Okay, so what you need to do, and this is the first thing that you need to do, is not believe what is. Take that in for a moment, you guys. Don't believe what is. If you are looking at reality at what is, you're just going to keep getting what is, because that is the data and the information that your brain is deciphering off of the energy waves. So in other words, you have to be bigger than where you are and what is. Not an easy thing to do. So in other words, don't believe everything you see. Don't believe everything you hear. Okay. So the first thing you're going to want to do is whatever is going on in your reality, in your life right now, LP, you have to understand that it's not real. Now, it's real in terms of the fact that this is a shoe, right? This is a shoe. I just happen to have my shoes here, so I'm going to use this as a prop, right? So the shoe is real. You couldn't touch it, yes. And the subatomic particles are moving and vibrating in certain patterns that show up as a shoe. So the shoe is real, but the interpretation of the shoe may not be real. And that's when you hear spiritual people say it's an illusion, what they're really saying is this shoe is not illusion. The shoe is real. It's physical material. It's tangible. It's real. What's an illusion is the perspective or the lens by which you're viewing or seeing that shoe as. That could be an illusion, meaning it's not necessarily real. It's where are you coming from? And is that, meaning where you're coming from, is that real? Is it true? What evidence do you have that it's true? Right? So LP, the first thing you're going to want to do is just where you are right now. It's okay where you are. You have to have some sort of acceptance. I am where I am, and where I am is okay. But it doesn't have to be like this. And as long as I'm seeing like this, it's going to be like that. So I have to be bigger than that, which means I have to make some sort of change or shift in my perspective or my lens, which will result in an energetic shift. Okay. So the other way is this is to me my most favorite way of connecting to my inner child in a fun way. LP, when you were a kiddo, what did you used to do that you loved so much that you lost all track of time? And if your mom had to give you a message or she had to come and tell you something, she'd have to track you down, or it was hard to find you, or, because that, if you can get back to doing that to the best of your ability, you will be recreating those, what did you call it? Outgoing, fun, happy, middle school aged frequencies, right? So I'll give you an example. Is it here? Do I have it here? I don't. Oh, I have part of it. I used to love coloring and coloring books. So I grabbed a whole bunch of markers. And I've been super stressed personally, super, super stressed. Super fucking stressed. Not even sleeping while stressed. And I keep catching myself, being mindful and aware of like what's going on, because humans are so habitual and routine that so much, especially of our patterns, are very routine. So I have to be really mentally alert, mentally aware, mindful, with purpose, with intention, aware of when I'm in that space. And then I have to divert or pivot or shift my energy so that I'm not dwelling in those frequencies to exacerbate what's going on, right? So when I was a kid, I used to love coloring and coloring books, and I would just color. So when I find that I need to tap into my happy, joyful middle school, middle school for me was probably not so much coloring, but my younger self, where I want to go back to that childlike, not childish ways, I will grab coloring book and just start coloring. And I lose all track of time. I get like so focused. And ultimately what I'm doing is actually meditating. It's just my meditation in that particular moment is through coloring. And all meditation is focusing on one thing, right? And then that's the frequency and that's the energy that you are in. Now, we have to do this with intention and purpose, with effort, okay? Life doesn't just happen to us. We have to be in action to have the life we want, right? We actually have more control. We don't have to be at the whim of the chaos of it. We're not life's bitch, people. So LP, whatever you used to do as a kid, that you used to lose all track of time doing, maybe it was roller skating, maybe it was playing softball, maybe it was hiking, I don't know, playing with your dog, whatever. See if you can get back to doing that, okay? I know that was a really long-winded question, but it was such a great question. And you're going to focus on two things, not, like whatever you're seeing as is, you're going to go, things don't have to be this way. And you're going to shift your perspective by getting into doing something that you used to do as a child, because that's where you want to go back to the childlike quality, right? Okay. I hope that helped, LP. Dallas. Hey, Dallas. Nice to see you. Dallas writes, hope your day is as amazing as you. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. And continue to be. It's a good day. It's not a bad day. I'm just exhausted. I've not been sleeping well. Just a quick question, though. Would it be a good idea to continue photography because it's my pride and joy? Yes, 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 yes. I felt a big yes, yes, yes. Continue to do your photography, especially if it's your pride and joy, because what it does is it ends up being like being in the frequency of joy is such a high elevated emotion and such a high fast moving frequency that it can entrain depression. It can overtake anger, frustration, because it moves so fast. And then think of like a Pac-Man, right? Kind of eating. I don't know if you guys remember Pac-Man. I'm probably dating myself, but it would eat things, right? High, fast moving frequencies eat slower ones. They're going so fast. They're like, which is great, because then what happens is those lower frequencies, anger, frustration, shame, guilt, they integrate with the fast moving pacing of the frequency, and then they end up synchronizing. Right? So if something brings you pride and joy, absolutely, you sure as fuck better continue that. Even if you're not making money doing it, even if it's not part of your job, you should do it because it puts you in that energetic frequency of joy, abundance, wholeness, completeness, which is where money can actually come from. Or, the physical reality, or whatever it is that you're working on bringing to you. The more often you can be in those frequencies, and to you, pride and joy is super importante. Yes, yes. Then you should be doing that stuff, especially it becomes work, it becomes intention, it becomes effort when you're sad, right? So if you're sad or you're depressed, angry, whatever, and then you're like, I'm going to whip out my camera, because when I photograph, as I say, because when I photographize, it's a new word now. When I do take pictures, I feel that pride and joy. So guess what you're doing? You are pivoting, getting out of those frequencies, those lower dense frequencies, and you're going, I'm going to put myself into pride and joy with intention, with work, knowing in this now moment. And guess what? All those other now moments don't even count except this one now moment. And you have now officially become extremely present in the now moment, which is where we're always creating and manifesting from, is from the now moment. So yes, Dallas, yes, yes, yes. Keep up the good work. Hello, Sunflower Fields. Okay, Coyote here. Let's see. Coyote, hey, Terrie. The guy I like, I wanted to ask you, do you see anything I can do to get him to like me this year? Or do you see that regardless of what I'll do, it won't ever happen? Please tell me what you feel and tips. Okay, so I think what you're trying to say is that you're trying to ask me if there's anything that can be done to have your guy that you're interested in like you this year. Okay, here's what I got to say about this. You can, I can, we can all create and manifest the relationship that we want. We cannot interfere with, manipulate other people's choices, directions, paths, because each of us who are in human earth suits have our right to free will and choice. So, no matter how much witchcraft you do, no matter how much anything like that, remember, there's the law of karma, which is whatever you put in, you're going to get back. Whatever you reap, you sow. If you do good things, you'll get good things back, right? Because they're matching frequencies. That's whatever frequencies we're emitting is what we're bringing back. You can't make anybody do something for you or even for them. So, no, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do to get him to like you. What you can do is be yourself. And if he's interested in those qualities, he's going to like you. Do you understand that? Does that make any sense? So you be authentic to yourself. You stand up for yourself. You have a voice. You do all the things, your opinions, everything that's good for you. And if he happens to like those same things, then he's going to like you, but you can't make somebody like you. Okay. So that, just like nobody can make you do things either. So you just remember there's a law of karma. And it's all based off of energy and frequency, right? Remember, what you're emitting is what you're attracting. What you're putting out is what you're bringing in. What you reap is what you sow. So no, you can't. So those are some of the tips. I just don't feel as of right now, you guys are on the same page. And even when I say that, it's like you guys are just not on the same energetic frequencies. You shouldn't have to change your energy or your frequencies to meet somebody else's. And I just think you guys are just on two different wavelengths, two different frequencies. Now, here's the good news about that, right? The bad news is that as of this moment, this now moment, you guys are on two different frequencies, right? But with time, you never know what can happen. Maybe he shifts and changes, maybe you shift and change, and then boom, you're on the same frequency. I've had that happen in relationships before. As a matter of fact, I'm now dating somebody that 6 years ago didn't work out. And now we're trying it again and we're seeing what happens. It's like, who knows, right? But 6 years ago, we weren't on the same wavelength. Last night we were on the same wavelength. So it's like you don't know, right? Because your experiences are your experiences in your life path, your soul evolution, your contracts, your team, your ancestors are guiding you. And same with that guy. Your guy. So it's just we never know. We don't know. So as of this conversation right now, I just see you guys at two different places, but I don't want to say you'll never get to the same place. It's just right now. So I hope that helps. Okay. 2121. Hello, Terrie. Hello, everyone. Hello, 2021. Abby. Here we go. My husband and I have always been back and forth on whether or not homeschool or public is right for our boys. My 6-year-old is currently homeschooling. Is this the best for their future? As in, do you see? I see all. I'm kidding. I do think that I do. You know what? Here's what I'm getting. I'm getting that right now, at 6 years old, maybe even until he's about 9. What is 9? 5th grade? 6th grade? I feel like it's okay for him. It's a boy, right? You have a boy? My boys. I am feeling, though, as they get older, maybe more middle school and high school, if you want to have a good socially integrated son, I do feel like he should be exposed to different social situations. So right now I feel like, yeah, it's the right choice. I actually feel like there's something about his confidence with learning. So I'm not saying there's a learning disability. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I have one. I've never been diagnosed with one, but I have a major comprehension issue. And when I was in university and I graduated, got a job, the whole thing, just because I had a learning disability doesn't mean I wasn't successful. And there are plenty of people with severe learning disabilities. And so I'm not saying he has a learning disability, but I did have to learn differently when I was in university. I had to study differently. So I feel like right now what's really great is that you're giving your kiddo the ability to learn in the way and process in the way that he needs to build his confidence. However, I do feel at some point there does need to be a shift or an integration for more of a social environment for him to learn how to emotionally socialize with girls, with other boys, with teachers, all of that. And also there's something about authority. So that's what I'm getting for right now. Yeah. But as he gets older, I would suggest, look, you do what you want to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. It just feels like he would need some more social integration for emotional development. But I love that you're giving him the ability to feel confident in his learning because he might just be processing information differently. Nothing wrong with that. A-okay. Hopefully that helps. Abby, I don't know what you mean, then being fine in that path. I don't understand that. 2121. Hi, Terrie. How was your day? My day is going well. I'm just super tired. I did not sleep well last night at all. I hope you're doing fine. I am. Thank you. My question is regarding an exam I have tomorrow. I haven't studied very much. Why? I would like to ask if you see me failing it. Thank you. I don't see you failing it. But I think you're going to regret not studying more. Look, I could be wrong. Maybe you fail it. Either way, to me, I don't want to make light of it. I apologize. I don't mean to discount it like that. But what I get is more of this feeling or sensation of, wow, had I studied, I would have done better. So maybe you pass, but you were hoping you would pass with a higher score. Or there's an expectation of yourself. But my question to you is, why didn't you study more? That's where I think you need to focus. What was the fear, or what was the procrastination, or, what was the block, and are you even aware of it? So that's where I would put, some investigation. Okay. Sparkle Storm. I love your name. Hey, Terrie. I haven't been able to think about my last fling, Michael. I'm only laughing because that's the guy I'm seeing right now. Okay. Hey, Terrie. I haven't been able. Well, that's his name. It's not the same Michael. I don't think so. Okay. Hey, Terrie. I haven't been able to stop thinking about my last fling, Michael. Do you feel that our connection was genuine? Yeah, I do feel like the connection was genuine. When I say that, I want to say I don't think you were making it up. Okay, so I don't know if you've thought to yourself, oh my God, am I making this up? See, I thought we had so much potential, but I sadly ended it due to stagnancy. Oh, girl! Stop being so much like me. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Stagnancy is not necessarily bad. Stagnancy can actually be healthy. It means like there's no drama or chaos. If you're a person that has anxiety and has and needs drama just to kind of fuel yourself, then this can be a problem. You know, you're asking a lot here. There's a couple things going on because this was you're calling it a fling. I think you're what's the word, disillusioning yourself. Is that a word, disillusioning yourself? I think you're not being honest with yourself, because it was more than a fling. Okay. Now, could I be wrong? Abso-fucking-lutely. I could be wrong. But what I feel is like the way you're phrasing this question is still sort of like with protection. The reality is I feel like you liked this guy. You had a genuine connection. He probably was healthier than anyone in the past that you had dated. So it was like, you know, an upgrade and up level. And I kind of feel like the stagnancy, that is the part where you had expectation that wasn't met. And you're talking about potential. So that was expectations that weren't met, but you're not being honest with yourself, because if it was just a fling, you would have no expectation. So you're not being honest with yourself with the fact that you actually liked this guy. You took care of yourself by ending this because it wasn't going to go anywhere. And you actually wanted a relationship, or you wanted more, or you had more expectations that weren't met. So I think the disillusion, or the what do I want to call it? The untruth or illusion, maybe that's it. Illusion was that you were couching it and that it was a fling, so that you can not be so emotionally attached to it. I've done that. Like so many times. So it just means that you have to work on relationship if you really want to have a relationship. And I will tell you firsthand that it is not easy to work on relationship issues. I think it's probably one of the hardest things to do. If you ever want to have a healthy relationship, it always does start with you. And it's super helpful to know, well, how do you attach to people? How do you attach to circumstances? How do you attach to things? And then like being super aware of what those patterns are that you block yourself from achieving. And when you're aware, sometimes it sucks. I was just having this conversation with my girlfriend, Stephanie, like not even an hour ago. I was like, it sucks to be so aware of how you're being in a relationship, because sometimes ignorance is bliss, because you don't have to deal with shit, but then you also don't get the beautifulness of it, and you end up pushing people away. Not you. I end up pushing people away when I really didn't want to. And I'm like, come here, go away, come here, go away. All because I'm afraid of being rejected, abandoned, I'm not worthy, blah, blah, whatever our stories are. So was it Sparkle Storm? Yeah, Sparkle Storm, there is something going on there where you have to get super honest with yourself. And you just have to be like, I wanted this to go somewhere. It didn't. We had a connection and it never went anywhere. And I'm trying to not be so attached to it, because then I'm going to get hurt. I'm going to get sad and all of these things. But you got to go to that shadow place and go, this is how I am in relationship. This is something that I need to work on in relationship if I want to have relationship. So yes, I feel like your connection was genuine, but I also feel like you're kind of lying to yourself that it was just a fling. And I'm sorry you had to end it, but I don't know if you heard what I said earlier to someone else. Like, there could just be that you two were on two different levels, and you never know if at some point you guys even out. It can happen. It can happen. I'm not saying it will, so there's no prediction there. I'm just saying it can happen. So get yourself in order, get yourself in alignment, get super clear with your needs and your wants. What is it that you want in a relationship? What do you need in a relationship? And then your path will be shown to you, and then you can work on yourself as you move forward. Okay? I hope that helps. Sunflower Fields. When I'm finally able to reunite with the guy I love, is everything going to be good between him and I when we see each other? Of course. Why wouldn't it? If you're reuniting with the guy that you love, everything's going to go well. That's why you're reuniting. That's why there's a connection. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go fast. Remember, there's a space that happens between people, and that can take time to rebuild. Listen, reconnection, repairing, and rebuilding take time. Right? So if you're going to have an expectation that it's going to be just like it was before, boom, first wrong thing. Second of all, you don't want it to be like before. If it was like before, it's not going to go anywhere because it didn't go anywhere then. You want something completely different, completely renewed, right? Repair and reconnection can totally happen. And I'm like the biggest advocate for it, right? And I'm all for it. Like, it's probably like sickening sweet, like honey and I'm really honey and sugar about it. I know I don't come off that way, but I'm like, yes, fuck yes. But it takes time. And it takes a lot of awareness. And it does take two people to be aware of what went wrong last time and to do things different this time. So there's a lot that can kind of like go into this, but if you're repairing and you're in reconnection, of course it's going to go well when you see each other. There's no reason it shouldn't. That's why it's happening. Okay. Kelly Messenger says, hello. Well, hello. I feel like I'm out of breath, man. Does it sound like I'm going, that's what it feels like. My body is just so, maybe I shouldn't have had so much coffee. You guys. Okay. Kunch. Hi, Terrie. Thank you so much for your videos. You're very welcome. I have been struggling. I haven't moved on from my ex for 3 years. You have my sympathy. I have a tendency to do that too, where I hold on to men way too long. He has moved on, but he doesn't let me go either. And I want to move on. Oh, Kunch. Kunch. Am I even pronouncing your name right? I'm probably butchering the shit out of it. Kunch, just first of all, know that if I were with you, I would be giving you a big ass hug and I'd probably be crying with you. This makes me sad. The only reason why it makes me sad is because I've been in this situation and it's something that I'm healing in myself and that I hope to never be in again, but it's one of the things that I'm here on planet Earth to kind of mend and heal within myself, is understanding my value and my worth and my offer to this world. What are my gifts? What's my purpose? And when we know that, we don't do things like this. Okay. So that's good news, bad news, right? Bad news is this is happening. The good news is, okay, you know that there's a worthiness issue or an I'm not good enough issue or, you know, something. What is your story? I don't know what your story is, Kunch. You know, this is something if you wanted to like work on coaching with me, you know, I've done so much work, not just on myself, but helping people with heartbreak and all of that, just getting themselves into the right energy. I don't know what your question is. I want to move on. Please guide me. I mean, there's so much guidance that needs to be done. I can't bullshit you and I can't sugarcoat it. It's not something I can do for you during a live. The only thing that I can maybe start helping you out with here now during a live is for you to start investigating and looking into your worthiness issues. You know, whether he holds on to you or not actually has nothing to do with whether you're holding on to him. Now, yes, there is an energetic connection and a cord that needs to be chopped. Yes, yes, yes. And you can totally do that, but you have to get really honest with yourself, and you have to ask yourself, do you really want to let him go? The answer is yes. You have to also ask yourself, why haven't you let go? And can you truly, honestly let go? So those are things you first have to look at before you do anything else. I would suggest it's worth a try, but this goes deep because there's probably some codependency that's going on there right now. What you probably want to do is you can at least try it, and it takes time. Why do things take time, you guys? What's the answer? Do you guys know this by now? I hope you guys know this by now. Because where you are to where you want to be, there's space, and it takes time to close that gap because we live in a time-space continuum, right? So it will take time for that attachment to disintegrate, to alleviate, to separate. Okay. So it's not going to happen right away. Clearly, it's been 3 years so far, and without the right tools and without the right way of doing things, and without the support that you need help with this. You can't do this on your own. You've proven this, 3 years worth of proof that you can't do this on your own. And there's no shame in that. Okay. I had help. I continuously have help, and I will always have help. Detaching from any attachments that I have. I cannot do it on my own. So you need to have support. You need to have help. So, just look into, why haven't you released him? Don't worry about whether he releases you. Can you truly release him? And do you want to really release him? And, there are a bunch of cord cutting exercises that you can do. You just Google them on the YouTube. I like Master Co's, pranic healing. I think it's called pranic healing release of forgiveness or something like that. I like that. And so I like that. That helped me a lot. It helped me sort of forgive, because what I realized, and this could be something, I don't know if this is your story or not, but I realized that I couldn't forgive myself for the choice that I made. So I was putting it on him, and it had nothing to do with him and everything to do with me. Okay. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done. I can't guide you in this live. You'd have to work with me one-on-one, and then I can guide you and really get you there. And it takes time. So hope that helps. Ann P. Will I get a fulfilling and high-paying job this year? Do you want it? I mean, do you want one? If you do, you have to work on what your fears are about getting that high-paying job, because that's what it feels like is a block. There's something that you do not know. I feel like you're expecting it to come to you, and it's just not going to happen. You need to go to it, or you need to draw it to you by looking at, what are your fears? Why are you fearing getting such a high-paying job? Deservability and receiving. You got to up your feminine energy. That's what's going on, Anne. I hope that helps. Noor. Hi, Terrie. Hi, Noor. Things have been feeling painfully stagnant for me at the moment. Yes. Is there a work or study opportunity on the way? Girl, the work or study opportunity on the way is why you are feeling stagnant at the moment. Just sit with that for a moment. There's something about you that, because this isn't just you're not just feeling stagnant, nor you're feeling painfully stagnant. So the fact that nothing's happening is killing you. So you need to start doing a deep dive, go into that shadow place. Why can't you just sit still and let things be? That's something to look into, okay? Michelle. Hey, Terrie. It's always great to see you. I hope your heart is well. Oh, thank you, Michelle. How is my heart? My heart is learning how to navigate through connecting with men right now. So that's how my heart is, stressed out in a good way. I mean, it's a good problem to have, right? I'm grateful I have opportunities to do that. So, not all perfect, not all knowing, also known as human. All right, Eureka. Hey, Terrie. I don't have a question this week. That's totally cool. I just wanted to say, hey, awesome. Hi. And I connected with an angel and he healed my hearing issue. Like, what the fuck? How cool is that? Couldn't hear well in my right ear, but it's better now. That is so amazing. That's so wonderful. Oh, Eureka. I'm so happy for you. That's such great news. And thank you for sharing that with us. I love it. What I love about that is you were able to get yourself in a place to receive the healing. Take that in, you guys. When we heal from something, anything, or what we're doing is we're showing the universe, we're telling ourselves that we are worthy enough to be healed. That means we deserve wholeness and completeness and the abundance of good health. We deserve to be happy, healthy. So when something is healed, like for example, Eureka's hearing issue, she opened up fully and completely with probably faith and unknowingness, just heal me. But she was receptive. She was showing herself she deserved to have her hearing back. Really take that in, guys. If you're not healing from something, anything, financial, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, it's because you're not feeling you're worthy enough to have it. No sugarcoating, no bullshitting. You'll always get that from me, right? Everything in our life is, are we worthy of it? Are we deserving of it? And if we are, can we give it away? Being human is challenging. Eureka, I'm so happy for you. That's wonderful news. Okay, Michelle Chambers. Hello. Hi, Terrie. Hope all is well. It is. Thank you. I've been contemplating taking a brief break from work to focus on my health, losing weight for a bit to be happier with myself. Is this a good idea? Thank you. My God, didn't I just talk about this? Girl, I want you, Michelle Chambers, to really take that message that I just said in, and I'll go ahead and repeat it. When we heal from something or we get what we want, something comes true, it manifests for us, good health, money, relationships, the job, whatever. It's because we realize, trust, there's no doubt that we are worthy of having what we want. So if you want to lose weight and you feel worthy of that weight loss, you will get that weight loss. So when you're talking about a brief break from work, I'm going to say before you actually take that brief break from work, that's really hard to say with human words. Really give yourself an opportunity to explore, do I feel worthy enough for this weight loss? Because if not, you will just be wasting time. And, the only person you can be honest with is yourself, because, the other people here, as much as they love you, they are not in your exact shoes. So there's no way they can ever possibly understand what you're going through. And therefore they can't necessarily empathize with you, but they can sympathize with you, and they'll never know exactly what you're going through. So if you can fully and completely embrace and accept that you are worthy enough to have that weight loss, you actually won't need to take a break from work. It'll happen either way. But, I'm going to say that the way I would go about this if I were you is it's always a good idea for you to investigate where can I get more physically healthy in my body, or what areas are maybe my energy out of balance, right? So for you, it has to do with your weight. Do you feel worthy enough to be at the weight that you want to be at? Do you feel like you deserve it? Because if the answer is yes, you won't need to take a break from work. Okay. So really look into that, especially if you're going to take time off from work, which gives you an income. So this is no bullshitting yourself here. And no one cares. No one is going to care about your deservability because everybody sees you differently than you see yourself anyways. So they can't understand, and therefore they can't care in the way that you care. So that's what I mean by don't care. It's not like they give no fucks about you and they're like, fuck it. They just can't care the same way you care. They see you differently than you see you. All you guys see me differently than the way I see me. So I'm going to ask you, Michelle, do you feel worthy enough to be thinner, to lose the weight? Do you feel worthy enough? Because if you do, guess what? This weight loss is yours, all yours. All right, girl? I hope that helps. I'm probably going to take 2 more questions. All right, you guys, because I got to get on moving here. But TT has a question. Hi, Terrie. Will things improve for me financially? Okay, it's a very vague, open question. I don't have much time to go into details, but they will always get better financially because the energy of money is ebb and flow, out, in, out, in. So be careful. You might want to word your question more laser focused, more specific for the next one. Now, you might be new, relatively new, and not know that. So I'm not trying to like skip over you and tell you you're not important, but that's just a very kind of obvious question. People's finances never stay the same. They never do. And things have to go out, meaning money has to go out in order for there to be a space or a vacuum or a hole for money to fill in, right? If you're constantly just having money, and there's nowhere for money to go, guess what? It can't go anywhere. So it's going to stay stuck, which means you got to start spending money to make money. That is the energy. Money is just energy. That's it. It's just energy. So I hope that helps. Last question, you guys. Abigail. Hi, Terrie. Thank you for all that you do. You're very welcome. My question is, will I be offered a remote position this month? Ooh. Okay, so here's where I want to say no. But I don't want to fully say no because I feel like you will be offered a position. It's just not going to be in the timeline that you're hoping for. So, I mean, if we're going to go super like literal by your question, will I be offered a remote job position this month? As of this conversation, I'm going to say no. But that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen you're in whatever specific time that you're thinking. Because I think you will be. It's just not going to be in the timeline that you're wanting. So, just be open. Maybe you can just start saying to yourself, I'm certain I'll be getting a remote job position. That's it. Like that simple. And then feel, what does it feel like? If you had that remote job position, what would it feel like? Remember, the universe doesn't listen to our words. The universe listens to how we feel about those words. So we need to be super fucking honest, right? We cannot bullshit the universe because energy doesn't bullshit. Energy gives none of the fucks. It's just subatomic particles. It's light waves. It's it. We try so hard to bullshit the universe and we can't. We can't. We bargain, we negotiate. You know how I know this? I fucking did it. I do it. And just being a human being, I'll probably do it again. It's just the nature of being human. Like, there's no shame in the game. We are who we are. We do what we do when we do. And that's just it. Like, so as long as we find the compassion with ourselves and the mercy on ourselves that we're just not perfect, we're fine. We're fucking human. If we were on planet Venus, we'd be Venusian, but we're not. We're human. Guess what? Humans make mistakes. Not only do humans make mistakes, humans let other humans down all the fucking time. So, yeah, that's that. All right, you guys. So I don't know how many of you guys joined me yesterday. I can't remember. I'm sorry. Yes, was it yesterday? No, Saturday. See, fucking time distortion, people. For the live meditation, but thank you to all of you who did join me. And if you watched it in the replay, that's so wonderful. Thank you. Don't forget to like look, if you like any of my videos that you watch, even if you're watching it like months in advance, please do me a favor and like the video. It tells YouTube that it's worthy of being shown to other people, and it'll help a bunch of other people. So if you're one of these people who like to help others, you know how you can help others? By helping me. I know it sounds so weird, but this way the algorithm is like, oh, okay, people who may need to see the message Terrie has to give, now they can see it. So don't forget to like the video. And thank you guys so much for being here. We'll be back next Monday. Don't forget, if you do want to have more intimate access with me, I have a fantastic group. It's a spiritual group or a spiritual community. That's really what we are. We just give each other amazing support. There are group readings. There are workshops. We learn so much about various modalities of energy exchanges and healings. There's quantum shift information. It's just this beautiful, loving, supportive community through Patreon. It's $20 a month. People keep saying I should be charging more. I'm not ready to charge more yet, but I might at some point. So you might want to get in while it's cheap. And there's other beautiful, like-minded souls. So you just don't feel alone. That's the thing, is you just don't feel alone. And there's so much loneliness out there these days. And so many of us are starting to come online with these amazing talents, gifts, and abilities. I mean, we were just discussing doing some experiments with telepathy the other day. We're like, ooh, let's play. So for a lot of us, this is play, right? And we don't always have an opportunity to share this part or dig deep into this part of ourselves with other people. They just don't get us. So if that sounds good to you, down below in the description section is the information for my Patreon group. Check it out. Join us. We'd love to have you. If you do want to work with me one-on-one, I do coach and I do mentor people. What I really mainly do is help you balance and navigate that anxiety of yours so that you can get into your intuition, make all the decisions and choices that you need from your truth, not from indecision. We leak so much of our energy that way. And it's crazy how unfocused we are and how amazing our own personal GPS system is, but we go to other people to seek them giving us answers when we have it ourselves. And so I'll help you with all of that to manage that anxiety. So if you want to work with me one-on-one, you can check that out also on my website. And of course, there's a private one-on-one intuitive sessions and mediumship readings and all the things. My number one value is connection socially to other humans and connection to the divine. So I do my best to lead my life in those ways. And so I am so thankful and grateful for you, because you guys allow me to live out my values, which is connection. So I deeply, deeply, deeply appreciate you. And I don't take any of our exchanges lightly. So thank you for being here. We'll see you next Wednesday. Don't forget to just do your best to just breathe. Like, that's my advice for this week. Just fucking breathe. Just like that. All right, you guys, stay connected. I love each and every one of you. Thank you. Thank you. And I'll see you on the flip side. Ciao.